our lecture today is about introduction to programming and software engineering. And actually, I will focus more on introduction to programming because software engineering is a big field in computer science. Just only, ICT student and also, for people working on ICT field, software engineering is very special, topic in ICT. So today I will focus more on the programming, and also in the first year, you also have a course about basic programming. It means that 3 classes. I don't remember exactly. It's 3 classes or 4 classes. It means that you have a lot of lectures and practice for programming. And in the basic programming course, the lecturers could use C programming language or Python programming language as they like, because the name basic programming means it will provide the student fundamental concept and basic skill, basic knowledge about programming. And using C, Python, or Pascal also okay. It depends on the selection of the lecturers. And of course, for the second and the first year, you will learn more about programming in advanced course, and also focus more on narrower problem, for example, in databases, in computer vision, in image processing, for example. Today is our the last lecture in our course about we will learn about the computer architecture. We will learn about the operating system. We learn about fundamental of data presentation and file structures. We learn basic concept about networking, and we practice using tools to process our information. We focus more on processing two most common format or type of data information, that's textual data and data series, using different software to calculate or to process our data semi-automatically. Now about programming language, yes, I would like to share with you about the web page named the tutorial points. Yes, in this tutorial points web page, could you see my screen clearly?
Yes, Professor.
Yes.
So tutorial point here in this web page, you could see a lot of technology available today. It includes the primer text for full stack web development, SQL, MySQL technology, Java, and many things. And about tutorial, they introduce, you could see a lot of technology available, including the blockchain, Bitcoins. About machine learning, we have different library for machine learning, like Tyson, TensorFlow, or PyTorch, machine learning with Python, for example. Of course, most of the technology or library introduced in this web page come from Gen technology companies, like, for example, from Facebook, from Google, from many big universities around the world. About the computer science and for the web development, we have different technology, HTML, JavaScript, PHP, for example. About the programming children, you also have C, C++, Java, Python, C#, something like that. Yeah. For more mobile app development, for databases tutorial, MongoDB, SQL, MySQL, DB2, for example. For only Microsoft, they also provide you a lot of technology for different field and different purposes. For big data and data analytics, we have also different library, including for example Tableau for data visualizations, SAS for data analysis, Hadoop for handling big data. Yeah, you could see that. Yeah, a lot of things you could learn, a lot of things you could possibly to work with when you graduate from our university. And for example, in the coding ground here, just about the coding, it means you edit your program, write your line of code. And for example, here we have a lot of programming languages. For example, top programming language include C, C++, C#, Java, PHP, Python, MATLAB, R, for example. Many programming languages you could learn from, you could know, you could understand about on this web page. So that's why, in the curriculum of a university or ICT departments, we don't teach you about a specific programming language, because we provide you fundamental concept practice to help the student to understand the basic principle and fundamental concept of programming. And also in this lectures, I would like to use C programming language, for example, and Python to illustrate about basic knowledge about programming. For example, for a C program called main.c here, you could see that when you open the coding ground here, you open the Google Colab for programming using Python and using Colab. They usually provide you the first example here, and in both C, Pascal, Python, PHP, Java, for example, they provide you the first program, usually hello world. And here in this web page, with this well prepared example, you could run execute. In this example, a C program called main.c, its task is just print out the text hello world into the screen. In this case, for example, when I finish typing or editing my program, I push the execute here. And the program print out the text name hello world. If I don't want to the program, the computer print out the text hello world, I change the content, for example, hello USDH. For example, I print one more text, print F, Merry Christmas. I don't know. Merry Christmas. For example, I would like to print out two. Yeah. Yes, it raised some error, and it said that error. I expected semicolon here before the return. Okay, it means that I write. I miss one semicolon here, and push the execute. For example, so in this program, I wanted my program to print out two text lines. The first one, hello USTH, and Merry Christmas. Here, something like that. And for Python, firstly, if I have to include the library name studio.h, it means stand for standard in our library.h. I use the main function. It's defined by the C programming language. My program we start the main procedure here. It means that my program, when I push run, my program start every instructions line by line. Of course, in this way, line by line, it means that instruction by instruction, and every instruction, will be marked by a semicolon character. Just do two things for me. Yes, this a program in C. This requirement. If I miss semicolon here, when I push the execute, the program could not do the task for me, because it said that I have to fill the semicolon sign here, and it done for me. This is for a C programming. This C program. And how about the Python? The Python is just print out the text here, hello world, and I push the button execute. Okay. It does not require a semicolon here. With or without semicolon, it's still print out. If I want to print with this is my habit programming. Yes, I usually put the text here. Merry Christmas. Actually, I don't. I put For example, I ask my program to print out two lines text here, and it prints out. I just call print. But for C program, it requires a main function. It requires include the studio.h. Now, suppose that I don't have this one. I execute. Okay, it said that it does not know what is the printf. Yes, because the function printf is defined in studio.h. If I provide all information required to build or to instruct the program to do something for me, okay, it runs as I expected here. Now, this means that for the same task, just writing a text line into my screen. The hello.c, the source code for hello.c, for print out a text hello world into my screen, it requires 1, 2, 4, 5 line of course. Lines, for hello Python, just print it out. It could be with or without the open and close character, with or without semicolon. For a C programming language, without the semicolon, the compiler or the program don't could not start, could not do what I expected, I wanted to, for example. And also, if some of you, have learned already the Pascal in the high school, for print out the text hello world into the screen, you write the program like this one, with the keyword program, with the begin and keywords, for example. Now, let's talk about programming and language. My next question, programming, is that a set of instructions? You ask the computer do something for you. Okay, A plus B, calculate the sum of two numbers. Okay, print it out, this text line, open the one files, connect to a server, connect to a database, open a web page, for example. So programming is mean then a list of instructions you ask for the program or for computer to do for you. And language. Now, my question. We don't have only programming language, but we have a lot of spoken language nowadays. Now, my question: when you learn a language, I mean a spoken language, what would you or what do you have to do to learn about a language, spoken language? For example, what you have to learn when you studying English, what you have to learn when you what you have to know when you learn Japanese, what you have to learn when you learn for French, for example. Now let me check if some of you is playing game or not. Nguyễn Việt Tùng, please. Nguyễn Việt Tùng.
Yes.
Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes. Now, please share with us when you study a language, for example, French. What do you have to learn?
I think the bằng chữ cái. The alphabet.
Character set, right?
Yes.
Yes, of course. For example, for French, for English, we have we use the same set of characters, similar. Majority of common characters from A to Z, for example. But for Japanese, you have to learn character. For Chinese, you have to learn characters in Chinese and in Japanese. Yes, first the set of symbols, set of characters. Nice. What else?
Start with the word, the
specific
word.
Right?
Yes.
Word, a list or a set of words, right?
Yes.
Words that is in the dictionary for each language. For example, if you want to talk Vietnamese, so you have to learn Vietnamese word. For example, đi lại học dạy, for example, right?
Yep.
Yeah. We have to learn new words, vocabularies. Yes. What else?
The syntax, like
the syntax, grammar, right?
Yes, the grammar.
The grammar or the syntax. What else?
I just know that.
And practice, right?
Yes, and practice.
Practice to speak, practice to listen, practice to write, right?
Yes.
Okay. So in summarize, in order to understand or to be able to use language, you have to learn the characters. You have to learn the new words, vocabulary. You have to learn rules, grammar. or syntax of that language, right? Okay, what else? Now, for example, in order to take an English test, what you have to do? Lê Ngọc Minh, please. Lê Minh Ngọc or Lê Ngọc Minh, please. I just pick a random number. Lê Ngọc Minh, please. I do that. Lê Ngọc Minh or Lê Minh Ngọc. I do that. Lê Ngọc Minh or Lê Minh Ngọc, please. Lê Minh Ngọc is not. Yeah, he's online. Okay. Next speaker. Đặng Nguyễn Vân Trang, please.
Yes, I'm here.
Yes. Now, please share with us. Yeah, when you take you learn a foreign language, what you have to do.
Can you repeat the question? I
Yeah. For example, when you take an English test, IELTS, TOEFL, what you have to study?
I think first I will find a syllabus and a teacher so they can teach me the program or the process to learn, and then I will practice myself at home.
Okay, practice. Yeah, you learn first, right?
Yes.
And you practice by yourself. Thank you very much. Yes, thank you. So the same thing for programming language. The same thing for learning a programming language. The first, you have to understand the character set. And fortunately, yeah, all the character sets in all programming languages are used alphabet character set. It means it is from characters from A to Z, from 0 to 9, and for some special characters in your screen, on your keyboard. So you don't have to learn about it. The second thing, for example, for English and for French, they use almost the same set of characters like Vietnamese, so you don't have to learn character by characters like Japanese or Chinese. The second thing is you have to know the words, the keywords. Yeah, the words in the verb, the noun, for example, in Japanese or in English. And the third one, you have to learn the grammar. How to write a sentence in the past, how to write a sentence in the future past tense, for example. And every language, English, Vietnamese, Japanese, has its own set of words, has its own set of grammar. For example, the common thing for every spoken language is, for example, verb, subject, verb, and object. For example, in Vietnamese is tôi ăn cơm. For English, subject, I have lunch. But the rules for Japanese is subject, object, verb. For example, watashi wa gohan o taberu. Watashi wa I. Gohan o lunch. Taberu, have or eat, to eat, for example. Every language have its own grammar. Every language have its own set of words. And the same thing for programming language. Every programming language has its own keywords. Every programming language has its own syntax. For example, if you want to print out a string in C programming language, you instruct the computer by using the keyword printf. You have to open and close characters. You have to end the instruction with the semicolon. And the string or the content you wanted to print it out is put into inside an open and close double quote. And in C programming, the instruction or the computer we conduct the instruction in the main call function. It starts instruction by instruction by instruction, and it performs all instruction in the main open and close mark like this one. That's the rule. That is the syntax, or that is grammar of the C programming. For Python, it's more easy. You just use the print, of course. You have to ask, or you write your command here, print it out, then the string. And in this case, for hello, for the Python, you could write your string here, hello world, inside a double quote or single quote. It's also okay. You write inside the open and close character or not. It's also okay. With or without a semicolon, also okay. For example, I would like to demonstrate with you. Here is a program in Python. Yes, here you could see that. I change here the single quote. The single. It also okay. Hello world. Hello USD. Yes, with or without the close, open and close. Characters. With or without semicolon. But for C programming, suppose that you miss the semicolon, it raises the error, and the program said that, and actually the compiler said that I don't understand. So there's something wrong here. There's some error, and it expects a semicolon here. Yes, okay. If I wanted to change the single quote here, it said that it's error warning. The passing argument, one of the printf here, makes pointer from integer about without text. It raises some error. I have to put it, my string, into a double quote. And when I follow the rules, program can do what I wanted it to do. And this is the common, that's the rule for every programming language. A lot of programming languages. And when you graduate from our university, you join some company use a C programming language. You have to know the keywords of C programming language. You have to know the syntax, about the variables, about data structures, and many things in C. If other companies use C#, other companies use Java, other companies use other languages. So you have to learn all you have to learn is a set of keywords and grammar. So it means that you know that, okay, the language could be different, but every language have the structure, the subject, have the verb, and the object. Have some rules in writing the past, the sentence in the past, writing some sentence in the future tense, for example. That's once you know the basic of a language or any language, spoken language or programming language, you could learn by yourself any programming language in C, C#, Java, Python, MATLAB, etc. So in this course and also the basic programming course, the lecturers will guide you, not only to learn about a specific programming language like this one, but the basic principle of programming. Any question, please? Okay.
No questions.
Yes, please. No question, please. Okay, thank you. We move forward. Yes, in this slide, I wanted, to show you 3 different programs written in 3 different programming languages: C, Python, and Pascal. And they do the same thing for me, printing out the one text, into the screen. But different languages use different keywords, different rules to write. For example, in this case, you see that, the hello world in Pascal, start instruction block with begin and end. In C, it uses the open quote, open character and close character as this one. And for Python, it does not use begin and, but actually it uses, for example, here I write a Python here. If I with the Python use the indent, for example, print out something. For example, it raised some error. You could see that. They don't know why we have the indent here. It means that the indent means it's starting a new instruction block. Because they don't know, they said that indentation error, something like that. So, and for a C, every a C program, we start the instruction inside the so-called main function. Why main? It's the rule. If you want to write a program in C, you have a function named main. The main is the keyword in C. And also the Hello Pascal also start with a program Hello World with something like that one. Start with the begin and end. And yes, I skip this one. I move toward. And in any programming language, you just understand 3 basic structure of programming in writing a program. That is, the first structure is sequence by sequence. For example, I write, okay, for example, in Python, hello USTH, I assign a new variable's name A equal 1, B equal 2, and I ask the program to calculate C equal A plus B. Yes, and I print out the value of C. I don't know, maybe plus B equal C, for example. So print it out the value of 1 plus 2 equal 3, for example. I change 10, for example. It perform the instruction, line by line, follow the order of the instruction, something like that one. Yes, that's the first, the simple or the most simple programming structures, sequence by script. The second one is the if, then, else. For example, I demonstrate in, for example, I assign a value a is equal 1. If I divided in, I check it that if the a is an odd number or an even number. If in this case I print it out, a is an even number. Else and else. Okay, not this one. I print it out. Print a is okay. I copy. Many programmer now use the copy and paste, and many bugs is is due to the, for example, okay, I check whether or not a variable a is an even or an odd number in this case. So what do you expect if I execute the program? Wow, is there some error in comparing two number? It use double. Why is double equal? Because it's the rule. I have to learn that this operator is what, and to compare two numbers I have to choose the one equal characters here is assign the values, and the double equal here is to compare. Now, what happens if the value of a is 2? It repeats out an even number. This program in Python. I write the similar program here. You could see that, okay? Before I use any variables, I have to declare a and assign, I could assign, and if I use the syntax and the keyword of a C programming language, I have to if a sometimes 0, it don't have, maybe I don't know if it is it has okay, print f not single quote but double quote, is an even number, and I print out the value here, ending with this one. I copy paste here. Else, I don't know if it has the else. This is a C program, right? Okay. Execute. 1 is an odd number here. Okay, if a has is 2, 2 is an even number, something like that. The differences in a C program is before using any variables, I have to declare that the variables a here is an integer, and when I declare that the variable a is an integer, I could not assign the value a is a string, for example, ABC or USDH. When I assign this value, it is error assignment. It is error, and it prints out a wrong number. And for Python, here I could assign USDH. Okay. It say that it could accept the value here, but it could not perform this one. Yeah, sometimes like that. And you could ask me why in Python, or for example, why in Python we could assign an integer and a string to a variable. It's okay, no problem. But in C, for example, A. Of course, we could not print A. Yeah, here we have A. We could not print A. The value. Okay, even if I declare that, okay, it gives me a very strange number. Because when you want to instruct the computer to do something for you, you have to know about language. When you want to talk with Japanese in Japanese, you have to learn Japanese words and grammar so that a Japanese could understand what you want him or her to do. If you want to speak with a Vietnamese in Vietnamese, you have to learn Vietnamese word and grammar. So when you talk something, they could understand and they could help you. So, and this for if the first structure is sequence. The second is a if then, and in this case, if then is start. It check if A equal to, then B, L, C, and if. This structure is in every programming language. C also, Pascal, Python, Java, MATLAB. All programming languages have the basic structure of if then. It check whether or not a condition A is satisfied or not. If the condition A is not satisfied, it performs C and N. If the condition A satisfied, it performs B, then it N. The first structure. The second structure is that it's a for and the while loop. For example, the syntax for the for loop like this one. For A, B, and C. Now, it perform A first, then check the condition B. If the condition B is satisfied, it perform B. Then it performs C. Then check again if the condition B is satisfied or not. If it's not satisfied, it ends the for. Okay, let me demonstrate the if and then in Python first. Suppose that you wanted to calculate the sum of all numbers from 1 to 9. For example, I would write the program in Python like this one. Okay, I have to declare some variables and assign the value 1. For I in range from 1 to 9, 1 to 9, 1 to 9, 1 to 10. Why is 1 to 10? Because when you want write the range from 1 to 10, it repeats, it takes the iteration I from 1 to 9 smaller than the 10. And with some plus I. And I print out the value of sum. For example, I have some here, some all numbers from 1 to 9 is sum, for example. Yes. For the for loop, for I from range from 1 to 10, I execute. Sum of all numbers from 1 to 9 is 45. This is written in Python. And here is written in C. Okay, I have to declare some variables and assign value 1. For int I equals 0, I smaller than 10, I plus plus. Sum I. And I print out percentage D, because sum of all number from 1 to 9 is percentage D, and sum. And with the instruction with simpler. Yes, just do, you could see that this is, and also in Pascal, you know that, some of you know already that, in Pascal, there's also if, then, and a for loop. They do the same thing. And when you master, you understand the if, then, and the for loop, you could learn any programming language, because there are two basic program structures in any programming language. If, then, and for a while. Okay, and now it's time for taking a break. I propose that, according to my my blog, it is 1:56, and we will come back at 2:05. 10 minutes break. 2:05. And please. Take a break. We'll come back to our lecture. Thank you. It's some point of view. People say that the for and the while loop is different. Of course, they are different. But from other opinion, they said that for and the while loop is almost the same. It means that it repeats the instruction or operators in the block D for many time. But in some cases, yeah, the while loop is for checking. Yeah, it also checking the condition here. It check the condition A or B, and it perform the block B. Yeah. Sometimes, yeah, people said that the while loop for an undefined number of operators, the number of times that the operators in or the instruction in the block B, yeah, is performed. But from other views, they said that okay, for and y are the same. Yeah, it depends on the view, but I think that yeah, in this line, yeah, I combine two for and while loop together in one slide because I would like to know about the differences between the two for and while loop, and I use the demonstration for you. For example, for the main, yeah, I do the same thing. Yes. For example, in the case of using the while loop, also I reset the sum is 0. Yeah, and I declare I equal 0. Yes, and I check why the condition I smaller than 10. I perform sum plus. Actually, yeah, equal sum plus I, and then I increase. For example, I use this one now, and I also print out the sum. I print it out the values. Now, some of you may know about the C programming language, and could you please share with us about, okay, the first sum number 1, for example, number 1 of all number from 1 to 9 is sum, and here sum number 2, sum 1, I don't know, it's number sum 1 and sum 2 of all number from 1 to 9 is this one. Now, if some of you know already about C programming language, could you please share with us, what happens if I push the button execute here? Please raise your hand if you know the answer. Trịnh Tiến Minh, please. Trịnh Tiến Minh.
Yes. I think it's gonna return an error.
Returns an error because
you have the same sum variable.
The same sum variables here, right?
Yes.
It replaces error, right?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. So it means that the computer don't know how to execute my program, right?
Yes.
Okay. Other opinion? Other people, please. Lê Tuấn Huy, please.
Maybe you wrong the syntax for the while.
Yes. Of course. Yeah. Please share with us. Yeah. What happened if I push the button execute here?
It will return just error because the syntax for while loop is wrong. You forgot the bracket.
Okay. You said that I missed something, right? Okay. Thank you. Next, please. Next, please. Other opinions? Okay. That's very late. Push the execute. Okay. We see once again our program. and I push the execute. Boop. It does not raise error, but it prints out nothing, right? Now, who can explain me why? This is the headache of every programmer, every coder. Bugs, error. Some people explain me. Of course, yeah, here. If I put the bracket here, for example, here. Yeah, it means that after the while loop, it performs one instruction or a set of instructions. In the case of a set of instructions, in this case, 2 instructions, it must be put in an open and closed code block. Here, I push button execute. Yes, someone is, yeah, I put the line break here. Why line break here? Because it's line break. Someone here, someone here, and some 2 of all number 4. Yes, one loop I have used the for syntax, and one loop I use the while syntax, and it produces the same result, 45. Yes, the same thing for the for loop. Now, if some of you share with us about why I forgot the open and close code block here, program run, but it produces nothing. Now, could you please, someone know about C programming? Share with us. Yeah, Nguyễn Trần Hùng, please.
So maybe because of that code block isn't going to be executed within that, whole coding line.
And
therefore it will produce nothing.
Produce nothing because
it is not executed.
It's not executed. And why it is not executed?
Well, because there is no brackets.
Because no brackets. Right. Yes. Why without the brackets it produces nothing?
Because there's no end and begin.
Okay. Thank you. And other people? Other opinions? Yeah. Because if you write like this one, the while check the condition here, because the value of I start with 0, it satisfies the condition. It performs just one line, this one, and it repeat check the condition again. In this case, I is still 0. It means that the computer performs the while loop infinite times. So that's why, yeah, my program produces nothing. And in some cases, your program hang. It does not, yeah, it could not escape, or it could not, yeah, finish the while loop because the value of I is not changed. So it's the rule that, yeah, after a while, yeah, it executes one instruction or one set of instruction. And in the case of one set instruction here, it must be in a double. Yeah. bracket here. So it is say if I write my program like this one, it perform adding I into sum and next increase I plus plus here is exactly is I equal I plus 1. That's the way of writing code in C. Yes, and now it perform well what I have instruct my program do for me. Yes, infinite loop. Yes, yes, infinite loop. So that's the rule of a C program. Now, what happens if I write a program in Python? I have assigned equal 0 and I equal 0, y I smaller than 10. I have, yeah, it requires so colon here, double colon here, and I sum equal sum plus I. Then I equal I plus 1. In this case, I don't have the open and close code block. But in Python, it requires with indentation. And every instruction with the same indent is called the same indent block, same code block here. And I print out some. Some true. Execute. It produces the same result. And that's all. That's all for programming, any programming language. You learn about the if, then structure. You learn about how to write a for, while loop. So you could learn any programming language. Here, for example, they just different from syntax. When you master the keywords or the new words or the vocabulary of any spoken language, Japanese, Vietnamese, French, you know the rules of writing the words subject, verb, object, or subject, object, verb. You could use, and then you practice to listen, you practice to speak with your language. You practice to write, for example. So you could use the language. You could take the test for TOEFL, for TOEIC. You could use the language for studying and for working. And you master the program in C and Python. You could learn the similar way. It provide you similar skill, similar way to learn any programming language in the future when you graduate from the university, when you join a new company. That's all. But actually, it's not so easy, because how do you know that? To print something in C, it use printf. How do you know that in Python is print? How to write a data into a file? How to open a database? How to open a table in a database? How to connect to a server? How to read the image captured by a camera? How to open the image from your mobile phone? How to connect to the internet? How to check whether or not a server exists or not, for example. So you have to learn. You have to read the document. You have to learn the manual, and you have to learn from the examples. And it requires a lot of practice. There's nothing. If, for example, if you learn, okay, you go to the the foreign language center, you learn about grammar. Okay, that's all. Past, how to write a sentence in the past tense, a current sentence, the tense is a future tense. So that's all. But in order to learn, to be able to learn, to be able to work in English, for example, you have to practice, and a lot of practice required. Now, let me show you an example how we write a program to process the data, because in the practice you have experience to use Microsoft Excel, using Google Doc, Google Sheet to process your data. Somehow you could do it manually, or somehow you could do it programmatically. So one way to process the information is to use the provided software to process your data. Another way is to write a program to process the data. Now, let me demonstrate you an example. For example, I have a table named Intro Informatics table with different columns and different rows. In each row here, the first row is the name of the data set, of the data table, including the number of students, student ID, family name, the given name, specialty, score for mark for attendance, mark for midterm, and mark for final. Now, you are provided a data table like this, and your task is to write a program to calculate the final mark. This is a very basic fundamental program in processing the data, and most of the data format data type is in table like this one. It consists of rows corresponding to the student. For example, the first row is the name IG. She belongs to the BMAT department. The score for attendance is 9, midterm is 8, and the final exam is 7. The next on. So in this table we have 10 students, and suppose that in our courses here we have more than 300 students. 400, for example, nearly 400. Now I have to write. You could also do the calculation here, but now I would like to to write a program in Python to process, to calculate the final mark. And I have prepared a program here. I write this program in Python using Colab. Colab framework. I opened it. How to open it? Wow! What? I opened this program now. The first thing is that I store the Intro Informatics here in my Google Drive. So in order to process, to open the data sheet here, to process, I had to log into the first thing. For example, I connect to the Google server. But because I run it. Of course, you could write your program in your laptop. You could write your program in your PC, and here I write in Google Colab. It's a free platform for you to write Python program, and it also provide you running with or without CPU, or even you could try with GPU if you want. The first thing, yeah, in order to open out this data sheet, I have to open it. And in order to open it, because it's stored in my Google Drive, so the first thing is I using Google Colab library, and in that Google Colab library have the authentication library, and I initialize the authentication, and I request to access to my Google Drive. Yeah, actually I remove this one. The first step here is to connect to an account. Yeah, the problem is, how do I know that? Yeah, how do I know that I have to use the Google Colab library to get the authentication, to access to my driver? How do I know that? Because in the lecture, my student, yeah, my professor just teach me about C program or Python program, simple like this one. Python program to write some toy example about print out something, writing a for loop, writing a while loop, writing a if then structure, for example. How do you know that? How do I know that? Yeah, I have to use the Google Colab here, writing some this one important things. C script library, for example, to open, to get the permission. Yeah, the same thing exactly. Yeah, I have never done this program before, but I just use Colab. How access the Google just two keyword, and the Colab resource provide me the instruction how to save the data to the Google Sheet with sample. Actually, I copy exactly this one. Importing the data from Google Sheet, something like that. Doing some calculation. Yeah, I learned from Google. I learned from the instruction. I learned from many resources on the internet. Everything is ready for you to study. Now I copy this one. Actually, I copy the code here and I execute. Yes, okay. The Google library asked me to enter the verification code because this is the way that help me or that permit me to connect with my Google Drive. And the same protocol is applied for many databases, many server, many drive. When you wanted to open something or to see something inside a house, you have to get the permission to enter that house. You get the permission to open that files, to get the permission to read the data from that database. That's the common protocol. So yeah, I have to sign in with my username, with my password. And when I enter the username and password, I could open with the permission from the server, with the permission from the drive, from the database. I enter my keywords, for example. This protocol is the same now. I connect to the Google Drive, and here, yes, this is my driver. A lot of folders with folders here. Yeah, now I know that exactly the introduction to informatics is somewhere in my server, somewhere in my folder, somewhere on the server. For example, I open the worksheet with provided name of the worksheet and I open it. Now I have permission to access. I open it. Now I see what I got. Now the worksheet here have a function get all values, and I got all values in the table. Now I try to print it out, view the content, for example. Yes, it provide me. Yes, raw 1, raw 2 is mean that. Yeah, here I just print out all the raws. It print out 10 or 11 raws. Yeah, exactly what I got inside my database. Yeah, there. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Of course, raw here you have to read the get all values here, and yes, I could print it out. Here I could also print out just the first column and the second column. Yes. Oh, okay, this is the second column. This is the first column and the second column. Yes. And maybe I would like to print out the raw. Yeah, I got the family here. Now, is that this one way to work with the Google Worksheet. Another way is get all records. This get all values. This get all records. For student, I just print out with the get all records, you have a dictionary. With the dictionary, you could access to the given name. Okay, I remove this. Another view on the same table, this dictionary, it provides me, okay, just 10 rows because it takes the first row as the dictionary. The student, the value student ID, for example, in this case. Yeah, and the final here. Yeah, the final mark is empty for every paper. Now I could calculate the student ID here. The final mark here is a 10% of attendance, 40% of midterm test, and 50% of final exam. I calculate the average, weighted average score, and I assign to the final mark. And I printed it out the data for student. Yes. Here we have a list of all students with the final marks. Now I check it. I expected that the final mark will be here. But okay, I think that okay, it's not refreshed. I refresh. I check inside the database whether or not my final mark is calculated or not. No final mark here. Okay, still no final mark. My program run, but no result produced. Here I got the final mark here, but no result. Wow, why? Who could explain me why? Now, actually, this problem cost me nearly 1 hour to search on the internet to read the documents. Why I I have the student here, the final mark. Final mark. Final mark. Ví dụ name. Given name. Yes. Yeah, I have. She has 7.6 or 8.3 and 6.6, for example, here. But actually, in my database, there's no mark. Wow, it cost me 1 hour to figure out why my program. Yeah, I have the data here, I have score here, but in the database, it's not there. Now, who could explain me? Yeah, who knows? Lê Tuấn Huy, do you have any idea about why I calculate the final mark here, but I could not have the result here?
Maybe you haven't printed it out.
Print out. Why I have the final mark here, value here, but in my database, in my data sheet.
I see. You just import it, right?
Pardon?
I see that the code is just importing the file, but not the other way around. Maybe.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Actually, yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah. He said that. Yeah. I download or import the data into my machine, my program, and my program. Yeah. All the data are stored in the memory of my computer. So I have the result here. Does not mean the data will be moved to the database there. So yeah, that's exactly the problem. We could calculate here, but we could not. Yeah, we have not. Yeah, update our databases, because in that case, if other people, for example, the software from the university or the lecturers from other department would like to look at the final mark of my student, they still don't have the result, because the result is still there here in the memory, in my computer, not in the databases. So we have to update. Yes, actually, yeah, I have to rewrite, and the most important thing is that, yeah, I have to update all the cells into the, yes, here with the same similar codes, but I have to update the cells. Wow. Why? List of disk. List of requests. List of disk. This final marks. Use cell. List of disk. Where's the final mark? Range here, not the list of disk. Here is the actual list of student. I use the name list of student. List of student. Ah, still wrong. I replace. List of student. Wow, still error. List of big. Yeah, I have checked again. It's still, yeah, problem. That's the, yes, you said that, yeah, it update, yeah, number of cell updated. And now what happened if I open this one? I have the final mark here. Yeah, I have practiced programming since I was in the third year student around 1991. It means that it already 20 years ago, and since that time I do programming almost in my daily work. It means that I have almost 30 years experience in programming, mainly in C and C++ programming, and Python for two years. 2 years programming in Python. But for just very educational examples like this one, it cost me hours to be able to calculate the final mark. And open the Google Worksheet, do some calculation like this one. It means that because I don't know how to open the Google Worksheet, I learned from the beginning how to log into how to access to my Google Driver, get the permission, how to open the worksheet, how to get the data, how to calculate, how to do calculation with the databases I have opened in my Google Worksheet. And when you calculate it, you have to update it so that in your database, people could see your result. It means that nothing is free. And before I write this program, I have almost 30 years experience in programming. But all of these things are new for me. I just know about how to write the command, I have to write the for loop, how to write the while loop, I have to write if then command, for example. Actually, I have experience write the program in Pascal, in C, in Java, in MATLAB, in Python. 5 programming languages I have experience. But I still, it takes me 1 hour, to update my result into the databases. Of course, this is not my field study, my field study, because my research interest is in AI insurance, in pattern recognition and machine learning insurance. But for my working for my work, I still have to learn, because nowadays we have many new libraries. You could see that here for writing many things, to solving many problems in ICT field. There are a lot of things you have to learn. And for example, for ICT student, in the last year, for 10 students going to the company to do the internship project, 8 of our students in ICT department get a job offer from that company. Of course, they have the right to work for that company or for another company. But anyway, when finishing the internship, they got 8 out of 10 people got the job offer from that company, because they could do the work. Okay, building a web page, writing an user interface for a web page, for a program, developing some engine, conducting some experiment in AI, in computer vision. But 2 out of 10 our students. They say that, okay, they have enough people. It means that, yeah, okay, you finish your internship and now it's time to say goodbye. They don't offer our student a job. Yeah, some of them, yeah, coming back to USDH to study the master course, and he shared with us, because at the interview I asked him about, did you get the job offer from the company? They said that no. I asked again, why? Do you know why they don't offer you a job? He said that he shared with us about, yeah, I could not do the job. I could not code. I could not do programming like other students from other university. Now I ask again, why? Why students from other university could do the job? Why other students from other university could do programming? But you spend 3 years here in USDH and you could not do the job. And my next question is that, are you sure about that? After spending 2 more years as a master student here at USDH, you could do the job or not? And why? And of course, most of them say that, yeah, 3 years in USDH, they don't spend much time and effort, enough time and effort to study. Instead, they play game during my lecture. You focus more on chatting on the internet, enjoying the Facebook, enjoying the TikTok, movies or clip on TikTok. They spend, yeah, they don't care about, yeah, learning such kind of thing that the company are looking for people who do the job, who master the different programming languages, master different technology in databases, in web development, in mobile app development, in machine learning, in other computer science field. And you could see that, yeah, in principle, all programming languages are the same. They just different from first keywords, second syntax. And for learning specific, yeah, problem in computer science, for example, you have almost study by yourself. For example, for me, because now here the technology, yeah, is, for example, you master one programming language, you don't master the coding skill, you don't master the software engineering. When you graduate, okay, you said that, okay, I know just about Java, for example. When you graduate, that company use C programming, that company use R language, that company use Python programming, for example. So, yeah, you learn about the basic principle, you learn about the fundamental concept, you know how to code, and most importantly, when you graduate, you could do programming in any languages. And the difficulty is not about the programming language, but about mastering different library. You have ability to read the documents. You have ability to do basic things, basic tasks in programming. So, like learning a spoken language, all you have to learn for any language is new words and grammar. And new words, no one could teach you how to remember keywords in Vietnamese, keywords in Japanese, keywords in English. No one could help you, but yes, through practice, you remember many words, yeah, in English. You master, you practice grammar, so you practice to use English here also for programming. and you could see that you could experience for learning a foreign language. Most of time and most of your effort spending for practice, and the same thing for learning a programming language. Because here you could see that, there are a lot of things that, we have to learn by ourselves. And learning now, you have a lot of measures online and a lot of videos on YouTube. Instead of watching the clip on TikTok, watching a funny movie on the internet, please spend your time to learn. And for example, you could find any interesting, very interesting movies and clip on the internet in any field. For example, for YouTube, on the YouTube, you could learn many things. For example, TensorFlow. You could learn TensorFlow course for many TensorFlow for machine learning from top university, from the top lecturers on the internet, and many tutorials from top lecturers on the internet learn about TensorFlow, learn about OpenCV in English or in Vietnamese also. And other students also from other university, they learn about TensorFlow, they learn about Python, and they publish the video on the internet to teach other people to learn that programming language. Why other people could do the job, but you couldn't do the job? So it depends on your effort, of course. And for me, for writing a very small program like this one, it cost me more than 1 hour to write, to solve a very basic task in a new programming language, in a new library, new environment, for example. And for a deeper understanding, something like this one, I would like to show as use C programming. Okay. Now, for example, if I, instead of using the integer sum here, I change it to the float number. Okay. Yes. Now my program is simple. Okay, I remove print. I change the sum from integer to float. Just tap it. You could see that just change the variable's name sum from int to float. Sum of in here in execute. Sum of all numbers from 1 to 9 is 49. Okay, it's okay. Okay, I try if what happened if I change to float. Sum of all number from 1 to 9 is this one. Wow, it's wrong. It's the wrong result. It's what I this not what is I expected. Really? It produced another number. Another number. Yes, I know that my program produced a wrong result. Now, who could explain me why when I change the variables sum from a float number, integer number to float number, it produced me a very strange result. And why? Please share with us. Yes, of course, everything here I introduced here, you will learn again in the basic programming course, in the basic programming lecture. The problem is when something wrong happens, you must know why it happens. That's more important. Because when you understand the reason why, basic principle, basic knowledge, this could be happen with C programming language, or it could be happen with other programming language. When you connect to a server, when you create a web page, you open a database to get the data, you get the wrong result. You should know about why, and the most importantly, when you know why, you know how to fix it. Now, who knows about C programming language? Just share with us about why I change. Just declare the some. I don't like use the integer number. I use a float number. It produced me a very strange result like this one. Yes, Hindu, please.
I think because in C programming language, the initial variable float is not 0.
You mean that?
The float number, the initial value for float number is not 0. But
so I assign. It means that I put here, right?
no.
Okay. If I change from 0 to 0.0, it solves the problem.
I don't think so. Yeah,
because
maybe.
Yes, I could execute here. Yes, of course. Here.
You have, I think, F in no, it's not.
Because in the C programming language, in order to print out the float number, it will use the format %f. When I change the suitable format to a suitable number, it produces me a correct answer. Yes, because C a very strict programming language. It's different from other high-level programming language. It requires very strictly format or syntax of using variables, something like that. Now I know that. Okay, if I use a float number for variable sum, when I wanted to print it out, that value I use %f. But I still don't. I still wanted to know why I use D. It print out. I execute it. Now it's a minus number. I execute it. Minus number, but different number. I execute it. It's some random number. Who could explain me why? Who could explain me why? Please share your experience in C programming. Okay, so I could explain to you. When you declare a float number for C programming, yes, and you declare it's integer. What actually happened inside the memory of our computer is that usually when declare a float, my computer will allocate or provide our program 8 bytes. 8 bytes, and we assign the 0, yes, becomes somehow it's 0 here. When we declare an integer number, our program provides us a location of 4 bytes. Yeah, when we add something here, yeah, it means that, yeah, we add something, this means that all the, yeah, yes, when we change the value something here, yeah, for example here, yeah, we print it out, yeah, our program we take when it print it out, if we specify it's a float number, it take all the 8 bytes data, yeah, that represent a float number. If we, yeah, declare, yeah, print it out as integer number, it takes only 4 bytes, just only 4 bytes to print it out. And the structure of a float number is quite different from the structure of an integer number. So that's why it print out wrongly values. Yeah. So that's why, yeah, sometimes, yeah, it printed out, yeah, incorrect number. The second, I would like to take the second number. For example, for an integer, I assign the value, for example, and I sum it up. And I print out percentage B. So, logically, execute. Oh. Okay, I take this. I don't know if okay. Okay. Now you could see that, yeah, if I use the sum as char variables, it means character 1 byte. Yeah, I assign the value of 250. I add to sum 10. Yes, but when I print it out, it produces sum is 4. Instead, yeah, I expect the result. 264, right? 60. Yeah, I expect the 260. 250 plus 10. Yeah, usually it, normally, yeah, it produces 260. But when I print it out, yeah, sum is 4. Yes. Who knows why? Yes, Chu Bảo Minh, please.
I think because you define sum as a characters,
Yes.
so it's will I think that if you define that sum had 3 letters here. I think so. And when you plus 10 as another characters, so it will be 4 characters. I think so.
Yes, not for, yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, you understand, yeah, nearly correctly about the problem. Because, yeah, actually, this is exactly what happened when I introduce you introduction to informatics. We have experience before, because when I introduce you about mechanical computer, I don't know. Yes, let me. How about mechanical computers? Just a moment. I stand. Just a moment. Yeah.
All right, so this is my pin
Not this one.
calculator that I recently purchased online. It's mass produced in 1958. This particular.
This is a step run. Yes. Could you see my video? Yeah, because when we provided the byte variables, the program provide, the computer, provide the program 1 byte for storing the value of the sum variables. When it add up, 7, for example, 7 or 5 plus 2, it becomes 7. Okay, 7 is still, could be stored in 1 byte, for example. Because the maximum number could be stored in 1 byte is 255. 3 plus 3, 7 plus 3 become 10, because we have 1 space for storing the result, so it becomes 0. The same thing happen inside our memory. Is that, when we declare the sum variable here, the computer just provides the variable sum 1 byte, and the maximum value of sum is just 255. When you add sum by 10, it becomes 260. So we need, the byte will be sit on the left side, and we have 4 left. So that's why, in the 1 byte provided for sum, it stores the remainder part of the sum. It is 4. Like if we have space, 1 space for storing 1 characters, when we have 2-digit number, so we have left only 1-digit result. So it's why it's sum. Yes. So you have, when you do programming in C, so you need to know the difference between characters. And for example, in the first I try with this number, I try to maximum, yes, I think that, this is the maximum number of an integer, but actually it's not. It is, it is not. I expect that. When you, use the sum with integer here, you got the, so why is that? Because 5535 is not the maximum number of an integer. And sometimes for some operating system, for some compiler, the integer number, yeah, when you write it here, the program could provide you 4 or 8 bytes for storing this some number. It depends on operating system. It depends on the compiler. So in order to to code your program that perform correctly, so you need to know the basic principle of the computer, about the operating system, how to store the data inside your memory, how to store your how to do the calculation inside your memory, so that when something happens, you know that okay, characters is not enough for storing, not enough for storing the 260, not enough. So that's why we have to learn the basic principle of computer, basic principle of computing, basic program in programming, and yes, for practical applications, you have to learn a lot. Yeah, of course, for your further courses in the first year, in the second year, in the third year, you will learn a lot. To use the computer to process your data, and in this how to write your program. So that's it, and that's all for our lecture today. And this is for your homework, of course. Your homework is your practice, because some of you have experience with C programming, some of you experience with Pascal, but anyway, this for your homework, for your practice. The first homework is try to solve the quadratic equation like this one. You know the methodology. Now you ask your computer to do it for you. Given the quadratic equation like this one, write a program to find the solutions of the equation, whether or not this equation has the solution or not. If it has the solution, 1 or 2 solutions, write it down, calculate it out, and print it out. The second homework is to write a program in any language to calculate the intersection over the union of 2 rectangles. For example, we are given 2 boxes with the coordinate here, and the intersection over the union is the ratio of the intersection area divided by the union area. Like this one, with the input is 8 number, the coordinate of the 2 box, and output the IOU values. This for your practice, and for your homework. And in the practice, our lecturers will provide you detailed practice from simple to more complicated, not complicated, for you to practice. And once again, you could write your program in any programming language as you like, and you could practice with C programming language, because I know that in the basic programming course you will learn about C, I suppose, because as I demonstrate here, C is very strictly programming language, not like high-level programming languages like Python or Java, for example. And of course, you have advanced courses for programming like object-oriented programming or object-oriented design, and advanced databases. You will learn using SQL and many other libraries to process your data in the future, in the second and third year courses. And Yeah, I would like to end my lecture here, and it's time for question answering and discussion. Please. Chu Bảo Minh, please.
Yes. Do we need to use Visual Studio to type C, or we type in Visual Studio and then paste our word?
Yes, you could practice with different IDE. IDE means integrated development environment. You could use Visual Studio Code or Visual Studio C, for example, for your practice. Actually, yeah, I use Microsoft Visual Studio for a long time, and I develop program and software using Microsoft Visual Studio, especially with MFC, Microsoft Foundation classes. Yeah, it provides many very strong tools, and in the future you may it's required actually for your professional development. It's a must, nearly a must, to use very strong IDE platforms to write your code. So you could use any platform, any IDE for your practice.
Thank you. So when we submit our homework, do we need to paste it into Word and then send
Now,
you?
homework is for your practice at home. You don't need to submit your homework, but you need to finish the practice in our practice hour. In the practice hour, our instructor will guide you to do the practice. This for your homework at home, and you don't have to submit the result.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Nguyễn Trần Hùng, please.
Well, so you have mentioned a lot of languages, and I just have a question. Like, you have never mentioned why there are so many languages, and like, why don't we all use one universal language?
Yeah, very interesting question. Very interesting question. The same question is for why do we have so many versions of operating system? Why do we have many operating systems nowadays and also in the past? Because, as I said before, different operating systems were designed for different purposes. For example, for Linux or Unix environment, they design the operating system for multi-user. For Windows, for personal computers user. For Mac, it's designed for optimization of the hardware and software. And also for programming language, it is designed for different purposes. For example, the C programming language is very fast, and it is very sticky, and it's usually it runs very fast in practice in comparing with other programming languages, with high-level programming languages, and it's fast. And now it's usually used in embedding environment. For example, coding for running in the low resource computer. For other programming language, like it is designed for web applications, for example. Some languages, and actually that is the environment for Python currently. In the past 10 years, 10 years before, Python is not so popular like right now, because now many companies support or develop different library for Python, for example. So the Python now has become more popular, and it's a good framework for you to develop machine learning programs. So it becomes popular. For databases, we have different framework for large database, different tools, library for handling people say that the big data. So it depends on the purpose of different applications. So some application, yeah, using this tool, using this library, using this programming language is more preferable than other programming language, than other libraries. So it depends on the need. The developer could use different programming language for that, yeah, requirement. So that's why, yeah, we don't have an universal programming language that solve optimally for every task. For example, MATLAB is very fast in computing the matrix calculations, but yeah, it's very slow for other computation tasks. For CPU calculation is very fast for parallel processing, especially for processing the image data. So that's why for deep learning applications, deep learning framework now, most of the deep learning framework require running on a GPU general purpose GPU, for example. So the existence of many programming languages, the existence of many library is there because there are so many types of applications, and different applications have different characteristics. So that's why people develop different framework, different libraries, different programming language, because it's optimal or is suitable for different purposes in practice. Next question, please. For example, people may ask, why do we have so many languages in the world? For example, okay, if we have an universal language, we don't have to learn foreign language. We don't have to spend years in learning English, for example. So that's the reality. There are existing many languages because it have different culture. We have different originality, yeah, of people. Nguyễn Trần Hùng, please.
Well, so you mentioned, let's say, languages like Japanese, English, and Chinese. And people nowadays are required to learn at least, or some people are able to learn more than 2 or 3 languages. And so would you say the same for coding languages?
No. Foreign spoken language is different due to the cultural and originality of people. But yeah, for programming language, yeah, if you focus on, in advance, in the future, you work on, for example, in machine learning, in data mining, in AI, for example. So I think that Python is now suitable for you. You need to master the Python. It's enough, for example. But you know that in the past we don't have, Python is not so popular. So that's why I usually I code my program in C programming language, C and C++, because at that time the OpenCV library for computer vision is originally written in C. But nowadays, OpenCV have also the Python version, because the Python is new and now become popular than the C. So I have to learn Python now. But in the past, I don't know that I need to learn Python. But now the community developed in Python is very strong. So I have to learn Python. Actually, I learned Python programming in just last 2 years. But in the past, I just use C programming language. But it depends, because the future could change that we could not know. Yeah, in the future, in the next year, maybe new programming language will be appear, and we have to learn again, like a fashion.
Thank you, Professor.
Next, please. Yes.
Để em hỏi
Yes.
cuối kỳ thì tụi mình dùng ngôn ngữ gì?
No, English, please.
Then which language do we use in the final exam?
Yeah, because we have all students from all departments, so I suggest our lecturers to use Python because the Python is easier to learn. You see that, the program in Python is very easy in comparing with a C program. So we will learn about Python. But
Then,
as Python is a case study used for illustration about the basic programming. So we use Python as the language in our practice.
and then in the final week have to be the coding, right? Not multiple choice anymore, right?
It depends. Of course, currently we have two solutions because we expect that in the 2022, we could do the on-site test. We do the test in our practical room. That's one possible option. Another option is that we still have to do the online test.
Yeah.
So for the online test, we have multi-choice test like the midterm.
Okay.
But anyway, the introduction to informatics just provide you the basic fundamental concept about using computer to process the data. So it's not require much. It does not require much for your knowledge in programming, because programming you will learn more detail in another course. So this test for your basic knowledge only. It means that the test is not so difficult as you experience in the midterm test. But anyway, you have to learn. Next, please. If you have any question, comments. Okay, so if you don't have any question right now, if you have question, please feel free to contact me by email or asking your classmate or asking the lecturers in the practice hour. Thank you very much for your listening and participating in our lecture. And I wish you all have a good result in this course, and also have good time in good result in USTH. And thank you very much for your attention and contribution, especially people who contribute during our lectures. And today, I would like to wish you a Merry Christmas. Have a nice time. And thank you. We see you again in the practice hour. Thank you very much.
Professor.
Thank you, Professor.
Goodbye.
Thank you, Professor.
See you next time, Professor.
See you next time.